Stanley Druckenmiller is considered one of the greatest investors of all time, and I've featured him a number of times on the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you a clip of a recent interview this past week with CNBC where he talks about his position in Nvidia, the future of AI, and the enormous potential both in AI and in Nvidia. And the reason this came to light is because recently it was announced that he sold a portion of his position in Nvidia, but he's still extremely bullish. It's similar to how Warren Buffett sold some of his Apple position, but is also still extremely bullish. So take a look at this clip. I think it's very interesting. And then after the clip, I will come back with some further comments.
Your excitement about AI sort of came into play with that discussion because you're worried that it's going to take a lot of investment and there's no savings. We got to build up the defense. There's wars everywhere. You were early with NVIDIA. You were early with AI. You pared back a little bit, but are not less bullish on the prospects for it, are you?
Well, first of all, I wasn't early with NVIDIA. My young partner was early with NVIDIA. He called me in the fall of 22 and said that he thought all this excitement about blockchain was going to be far outweighed by AI. And I asked him how to play it, and he told me I should buy this company, Nvidia. I didn't even know how to spell it. I bought it. Then a month later, ChatGPT happened. Even an old guy like me could figure out, okay, what that meant. So I increased the position substantially. I said in an interview in June of that year that I expected to own NVIDIA for 2 or 3 years, that this was a mega trend like I'd never seen, potentially bigger than the internet. But when the stock went from 150 to 900, I'm not Warren Buffett. I don't own things for 10 or 20 years. I wish I was Warren Buffett. And 150 to 900, yes, we did cut that position and a lot of other positions in late March. I just need a break. We've had a hell of a run. A lot of what we recognized has become recognized by the marketplace now. We expected Powell to come back and repivot, which he subsequently did. But no, long term, we're as bullish on AI as we've ever been. You just wonder, if we were all sitting here in 1999 talking about the internet, or anybody was talking about it, I don't think anybody would have estimated it would be as big as it got in 20 years. We didn't have the iPhone, we didn't have Uber, we didn't have Facebook, yada, yada. And yet, if you bought the NASDAQ in 99, it went down 80% before that all came to fruition. That's not going to happen with AI, but it could rhyme. AI could rhyme with the internet. As we go through all this capital spending we need to do, the payoff, while it's incrementally coming in by the day, the big payoff might be 4 to 5 years from now. So AI might be a little overhyped now, but underhyped long term.
You said you're not like Warren Buffett, but what you just did with NVIDIA sounds an awful lot like what he did with Apple. He pared his position in Apple by 13% and then went on to say it's a better company than Coca-Cola or American Express or any of the other companies that they have in their portfolio. And he thinks Tim Cook is great.
Yeah, well, I will be very surprised if I don't own NVIDIA on and off the next 10 years.
Okay, very interesting what he said, and I think his perspective is unique because he's got one of the greatest investment records of like anyone alive, except for maybe Warren Buffett. I think one of the most interesting things he said was that AI is probably overhyped at this point in time, which I think is true. Is driven by the last 6 months. There's been a lot of AI hype in the stock market. While it might be overhyped now, it's probably underhyped in the next 5 years. And I think I agree with that. And in particular, I think even though right now on a trading range basis, Nvidia is a little toppy and a little high in terms of an entry point. In terms of the short term, I agree with him. In terms of the next 5 to 10 years, it's tremendously undervalued. So I think you have to consider that when you look at getting into Nvidia. I think the other very interesting thing that he said was that he would find it very hard to believe that he wouldn't be in and out of Nvidia tremendously over the next 10 years. I think that's probably the right way to look at it. If you get into this stock and you see an enormous profit within a short period of time, it does make a lot of sense to take some chips off the table, because something like this can be and will be extremely volatile as you look at it going forward. But as I look out there in the landscape, there are very few companies that I see that I think have more going for it and more opportunity in than Nvidia. As a long-term play, it's an incredible opportunity. Everyone out there should be looking at it and should be trying to find a good entry point. I said on the last video I thought it was around 700 or in the 700s where I would get very serious about adding to the position. We might not see that unless there's a large market sell-off. However, there have been some short-term entry opportunities. A few months ago, it was down in the upper 70s. Then it was in 700s. Then it was in the 800s fairly recently, and it bounces around now. It's close to 900. But anyway, I will continue to watch it, and I will let you know when I go into the position, because I see it as the biggest opportunity in the stock market today.